Yeah.
I hope
Here we are, episode 8.
episode eight,
Dang.
quickly approaching double digit episodes, which is gonna be cool. So I heard a stat that said most podcasts don't get past their 20th episode. So that's our goal, is 20 and beyond.
Okay. I
So
could see that.
if we're getting past 20 episodes, we're good. But what's up, guys? Thank you. We obviously took a break last week, but this is episode 8 of Broco Podcast. Thank you for joining and for being patient. I failed to plan ahead and provide some content to you guys over the week that we were all cruising. So I apologize. But
Literally cruising on a ship.
literally, we were literally all 4 of us that run this podcast. We work with the same company. We're all recognized as rising leaders in that company and sent on a 4-day cruise, which was incredible. Which honestly is what we're going to just take a very quick time. This isn't going to be a long one by any means. We just want to recap the cruise itself, what we learned, how it applied to leadership as far as, being recognized as a rising leader, what that took and the lessons there. You want to jump in and start us off for that?
Yeah, I will. And I gotta say, I retired out of the Marine Corps at 20 years. This is something I actually I had to write about today because it kind of moved me. I retired 4 years ago this weekend, and as I was retiring, as I was approaching retirement, like obviously in the Marine Corps, I'd imagine in any field, but you have to plan ahead and recognize I'm going to retire and make your plan for exit. It can take about 14 months in the military.
Holy
And
cow.
so as we were looking at like what do we want to do with our life? How do we want to raise our children? How do we want to provide this, that, and the other? I had already started investing more and more in leadership, and I should be very clear. The Marine Corps has a very particular style of leadership. A lot of it is positional. You can earn your way, but there are so many stories of people in the Marine Corps who just shout and they will beat you over a head until you submit to their will. And while that is a form of leadership, I had really started studying John Maxwell and Les Brown, sales from individuals like Victor Antonio. He's a great salesman that I respect and admire. Chris Voss never split the difference. He's a retired FBI hostage negotiator that his entire pitch is like if you split the difference and you only have one hostage to recover and you get half of them back, then you didn't get a good deal.
Right.
Um, and leadership comes in so many different forms, but getting away from positional leadership and getting to a point where it's permissive and where people are, maybe not quite at the pinnacle yet, but people are looking at you to be the individual who offers the encouragement and has the sage advice and sets the example. Going to this Rising Leaders Retreat was an incredible and very generous recognition of the fact that we can grow. And I say that if I came into business with Marine Corps leadership, would people say things are efficient? Yes, absolutely. Would people say that I am a compassionate leader? Probably not. Would I know the things that I know about my people now if I no, like any number of different things. So, I share kind of as the old man having been in this leadership and people business for 9 years. It's been a heck of a journey. This is the fifth time I've earned a leadership retreat. It's the third time I've been able to participate, and it just gets better and better because it's all about the people. And it's all about people who love other people. And like the videos that we're not going to share of silent disco singing and dancing, and like we look like drunken fools, but more likely than not, we're mostly sober.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's family. I think it's easy to lead people when you love them. Yeah.
Dang,
That's
we
probably
could,
my deep thought
that's
for
it.
the
That's
night.
the podcast, guys. That's it. All right there. That's the episode in less than 5 minutes.
Love your people.
Love your people. And that was so evident to me. This was our first year earning it. And to be able to take my family and see that love from you, your wife, people that I've only met through Zoom, people on our team I've only met through all the socials, come together from all over and just immediately feel that love. Like you've known them forever, right? And then watching the top leaders, I don't think exemplify is the right word, but like just show that love themselves, if that makes sense, from the top on down. Like they didn't behave like they were better than us or act like they were different than us or anything like that because they're on this cruise too, right? And the authenticity of their love and care and compassion for everybody, not just the the people that earned that, but the way they talk to us about now, how are you gonna go back out after this and continue to love and serve people? Was the underlying message that I got from that. And it was just like, man, it's very hard to find people in general, but a company I think that is so grounded in love and serve people well, period.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was,
Like the entire business model is to serve people.
yeah,
The philanthropy, which we talked about, the philanthropy. I don't even remember how many. I think 1.7 million. Maybe I'm overestimating. We've
for,
how many meals we've donated? Like well over 1 million meals that we've
yeah, yeah,
donated to
yeah.
the hungry.
Yeah, I thought it was a couple million. I thought it was at like four.
It may
Yeah,
be a couple
four, four or
million.
five, I think.
I'll have to look that up. Yeah, like who does that
Right.
as a company? And it's phenomenal. I know we bought a working dog for a police department out in Tucson, Arizona. They actually donated a working dog for the police department,
Oh,
which is
nice.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, there was a point in time, Galveston, Houston were hit with a really bad storm a few years ago, and they said we'll match any donation up to like $1,500 or something like that.
Holy cow.
And they matched, I mean, they matched some big donations.
That's incredible.
It's loving your people.
Yeah.
Like Southwest Airlines is a great, this is probably a little bit more business than we've talked to, but it's leadership too. Southwest Airlines, people know Southwest. They've got kind of a quirky business model when you look at them because they fly into places that other people wouldn't fly into. And that's how they made their money. They realized that they had entire markets that would come to them if they moved 20 miles down the road because they'd be less expensive and they would take care of their people. So at the corporate level of Southwest, what they do is they focus on taking very, very good care of their employees. They know if they take very good care of their employees, that will trickle down to their customers.
What a weird concept.
It is a little bit different when you look at companies that are openly traded on the public market and stuff like that. All they care about is the investor.
Yeah,
Well, Southwest, all they care about is their employee because they know if their employee is happy, their employee is going to do a whole lot more to make sure the customers are happy, and it carries over.
sure.
People know when you fly Southwest, your experience is going to be just a little bit different. And a lot of people they can't put a name on it. They can't say exactly what it is, but it's that the people actually care
Yeah.
because they are cared about and they share that love. Man, I'm all about love tonight. That's
Dude,
it.
it's
Like,
great.
it's
It's
been an
great.
amazing week. I'm still tired.
Yeah.
I haven't quite gotten back to it, but yeah, and hopefully the guys that are out there listening and women who might be listening too, but hopefully at some point in time there has been a leader who loved you and you actually felt that and you walked in to work, to the church, to a place that you volunteered, and you felt not just appreciated, but as if you were just that place of belonging.
Yeah.
As if you were, you'll be missed when you walk out the door,
Right.
but you'll always have a place too.
That's that community, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
That,
that's a thing.
that's it. Where it's at. Honestly, seeing how this company leads and how, people such as yourself lead and stuff like that, dude. Look at the leaders around now, whether it's leaders in the home, leaders at the fire department, leaders in whatever specific career, anything like that. You start to not judge them differently, but size them up differently, I guess, if that makes sense, because you start noticing what's really important and you're looking at these people, or at least I am. This is what totally changed with me, I noticed, is that I start looking at these people and my very first thought is, all right, are they leading from a position of love? Do they actually show that they care? Anyone can just say it. Someone just walked by and said no, because fire department, and no.
No, they don't.
No,
Get
no
back
one
to
cares.
work. Yeah,
Exactly.
no.
No one cares. See, that's pretty much the culture here.
No
So
one's coming to save you. Yeah.
No one cares. Yeah. You can whine all you want. No one hears you. But that's it, man. Like people can talk about, loving and caring your employees or those you work with or whatever all you want, but are you actually showing and challenging me to be better at that too? Am I showing it at home? I can say it all I want. I can say I love you. I can say all the right things, but are my actions backing it up? To the guys that I work with here, that especially the newer guys that I'm responsible for. Am I leading them with love and compassion and empathy in the business model? Do my clients and customers know that I really do care about them? I really do want them to live their healthiest, happiest life. And whether they decide to come with me or not, no harm, no foul. I love them either way. It really has taught me to reshape my whole method or the whole kind of like the lens, the lens you see the world with, it kind of changes just a little bit more to where I'm like, all right, love is a lot more important and a lot less rare, unfortunately, than people would tend to believe. Because I think in today's society, the L word gets thrown around a lot and has extremely superficial meaning to it. And so it gets watered down a lot. True love is shown through actions.
And it's tough when you realize that. I think there's almost a dark side to the back end of leadership event, like quality leadership events. Because this wasn't a mandatory in the Marine Corps. We had low morale in our unit. We were in Romania. It was the winter. Romania, the winter, it's cold, it's dark. You don't see the sun for 40, 50 days in a row.
Yeah,
And there were individuals that were having some dark thoughts.
sure.
And so the leadership meeting was at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday that we were supposed to have off. And the question was, why do the individuals not have morale? Now, it's a great question, and it's coming from the right position. But if you have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday to ask it,
Right.
then, like,
You're
something's
missing.
wrong.
There's a disconnect.
And so, like, I say that there's kind of a dark side. There's a real, whether it could be a moral block, and I'm going to share this podcast with a guy who's going to know exactly what I'm talking about with that because he was in the same unit. But there is this block that you get, and you have to make a decision because there are going to be people that you respected, people that you learn from that you used to think a lot of. And as you continue to grow, as you continue to develop yourself as a leader, which is no different than hitting the gym 4 or 5, 6
Sure.
days a week. It is a skill, it is an exercise, it's a discipline. Your perspective is going to change on the people who at one point in time were authoritative mentors, leadership figures in your life. And you may see them in a little bit different light if they continue to stay where they were. Because it is possible to pass somebody as you become a better leader.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I think on the flip side, once you find your crew that everybody is growing together, God, it lights a fire under you.
For sure.
Like there is nothing like being surrounded with people that are fired up. They don't care about the opinion of others.
Mm.
They are just, this is who I am. This is where I'm going. You can come with me or not. I don't care, but this is what I do, and this is exactly what I'm going to accomplish in my life. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, there's a confidence and a fearlessness almost that comes with that. Like true love and compassion for others. Listen, I know who I am. I know who God says I am. I know where I'm going. And I love you enough to invite you to come with me. Now, whether you take that or not doesn't change the way I feel about you or the way I feel about where I'm going, but this is it. And I love you enough to invite you into this. There's a peaceful yet horrifically strong confidence that comes with that,
Yeah,
which is crazy because it
I
doesn't
like
seem
that.
like those two should go hand in hand,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they do.
So
That's good.
that's my thoughts, man. I tell you, like it. We could go on about family. We could go on about. I think being a big fish in a little pond. It's good when you're able to get out and swim with other big fish.
Yeah.
I don't mean for that to sound egotistical. Probably does a little bit, but it's that confidence.
Yeah.
When you're with people that are growing, the conversations are just they're different. They're
Sometimes
different.
you got to change the table you're sitting at.
And that's it.
right?
There's
What is that?
nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. Dang it. Of course, I went to say that my mind shut off, whatever the heck the saying is. Something about, take a look at the five closest people around you or whatever, and that'll kind of tell you, where you're at in life or where you're headed. And if you take a look around and you're like, well, none of these guys are really doing much, and I don't really look up to them at all. We're just kind of been drinking buddies for the past 20 years, or whatever. Nothing wrong with your buddies, but you might want to find a new table that challenges you and pushes you to be better. Still keep them around, but you may have to sit at a different table.
Yep.
And
And
that's
that's it.
this retreat was awesome, man. For the first time experience for me and my family, and my bride was hooked. Obviously, you see, we just added her to our team chat because she's all fired up and meeting your wife and everyone else, and just the time. Leaders, man. Like, when they set a good example, when you're around other like-minded people, it just fires you up. It's a breath of fresh air, and you want to share it with everybody. So that's really what this whole episode comes down to. If you're in a leadership position in any level, in any way, shape, or form, you got to lead with love first, and you got to be smart about it. And by smart, I mean, I think that kind of refers to what Mike was saying, where it's like, listen, know where you're going, know where you're at, know where you're going, be confident about it, invite people to come with you.
I like it.
You getting a call?
Yep.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll
All
end it
right.
right there, man. It was about
Perfect.
time.
Good
Stay
place to end
safe,
it.
homie, and we'll catch y'all next week.
All right. Take care.
See you, bud.
Bye.